Hello everyone, with the Jewish Week Online. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. We had the opportunity to speak with teenage author Christopher Hu about his new Holocaust graphic novel, Keeping My Hope. Let's take a first look. Whenever you're starting a project, you're trying to bring your knowledge and passion to the forefront. And being as young as you are, tell us why you decided to create a novel about the Holocaust.
Well, the thing is, ever since I was really young, I always liked to draw, and I just figured that, well, I mean, in the beginning, when I was learning about the Holocaust in seventh grade, we were learning about it in English class, and I found the Holocaust quite interesting because I had never heard anything about like such an event in history, and we read a few books, including excerpts from Anne Frank's diary, Voices of the Holocaust, and this book called Friedrich. But for me, the learning didn't stop there. I figured that I should like excel by learning more about this subject. So I actually visited the Holocaust Museum in DC twice, once with my mom and once with my dad. And it's just that this whole learning experience about the Holocaust, it's something that I never heard of, and I just figured that I should do something about it for other kids to learn. And when I at first I just made small sketches of drawings about the Holocaust. I was like, like this. It was just for like me to learn by myself. But gradually, I started to show the pictures to my friends, my family, and to my surprise, everyone was like, you should write a book about this. And I was like, I don't know, these are just drawings, but I figured, I don't have much to lose, so I figured that I'll write a book about it for both my enjoyment, but also for people to learn about it.
One of the interesting parts about this whole process is that you spend a lot of time researching. Um, and I think so. My grandmother and my grandfather were in the Holocaust and survived.
Uh,
And there's a lot of emotion that's connected to that. As somebody who is now diving into this incredible venture to educate, you have to throw yourself into this. You
yeah.
now had over 1,000 hours or more just going and researching. How did you start that process?
Well, the thing is, it's first started when I was at the museum in DC. I was looking through all the displays and I was like, wow, like this is actually the real deal. But I decided, I should learn more through their website. And as I started to research, I decided to place everything in my book through this small town called Lomza, and the whole process of it, I actually had to I felt like I was actually diving through history, I should say. It was very it was very,
It's probably emotional for you as well, especially
yeah.
learning about this. This is your formative years where
Uh,
you're kind of like learning about different things, and for you to really throw yourself into your work and creating this graphic novel. Um, what was like as you were writing and as you were drawing? What was going through your mind?
Well, I just thought that in the beginning when I was writing, it was basically just like I was just a normal 13-year-old writing about this book. It's just like a few drawings, but then I just figured that not only I should learn this, but kids should learn and even adults should learn about this. I've seen adults that never heard of the Holocaust before, and so I thought this was a new and good way for people to learn about it. Like a history that won't keep them bored, but then again, you're still learning about it.
And the images are very vivid. It has a look to it where you're trying to really bring in the reader.
Uh,
Was there a specific image that when after you finished drawing it, you're like,
Wow, like that's powerful.
Um, I think one of the most powerful images that I actually drew was on page 91. In the very first scene, it actually shows Ari, my main character, he's talking to his grandchildren, and he shows his arm to his two granddaughters, and he said that the Holocaust, it was very dehumanizing, you know. It showed that like this is what people could do to each other during war. And I just wanted to show that that just this genocide and this war, it was just it changed people, you know, and I just didn't want people to forget that because in this time of day, you know, Holocaust survivors are disappearing, so I just thought this was a good way to preserve their memory.
No, it's not just preserving it; you're bringing it to a whole new light, and
Uh,
for a generation that hasn't heard or needs to understand it in a different way. Everyone learns in a different way. Some need to have like that book in their hands. Some people need to have that the iPad in there, whatever it is. But through a comic, but a meaningful comic, you can tap into people that normally wouldn't maybe even connect.
uh,
Um, and I think that was very exciting when I was doing some research on your book. Was that opportunity, but it's not just for young children. It goes to so many different levels of of connection. So really, it's for adults as well. Um, Tell us a little bit about the feedback that you've been getting.
um, most of the feedback, it's actually through my peers and everything. They're all like, when I showed them the book at school the first day it came out, everyone was like so excited, you know, and to my surprise, kids in my own classes, kids that were sitting next to me, they were like, "Hey, where can you get your book? You know, I want to read it." And it was just something that I was really happy to do for them because that was one of my main goals for that kids my age, but you know, even some of the adults in my school, they're like, "Hey, I want to get this book too." And it was just like one of those feelings, you know, it was like you finished your goal, you know, these people they're actually learning about it in this way that I wanted them to learn about it. And I just wanted to show that, you know, like even someone like in my age at this time of day, like this age, it was just something that we can still comprehend and that we can learn through like our grandparents before they're gone, you know. So
This is one of the I say the next generation of education, and it's exciting in a way because, as you mentioned, many Holocaust survivors are dying or will be dead in a number of years, and is that you're creating almost like a legacy for them in a way. Have you had any contact with survivors?
I did. I had an interview with one. He was on the kinder transport from Vienna to England. And I had met him here in Potomac, Maryland, and I had driven up to his synagogue and we met, and then he gave me a DVD on his interview from the Shoah Foundation. And I found it very interesting because I had heard about the kinder transport throughout the Holocaust, but I had never actually, you know, got in depth with it. So it was a very unique experience for me.
Mhm. There's a there's a process when you're writing your book, and I'm sure everyone like has inputs like where you should go. Did you ever get stuck as you're writing?
Well, writing, I was basically like, it was basically like for me, I was just on my own for the writing process itself, you know. When I went to the drawing board, everyone was just like, "Oh, leave him alone. He's about to write." So it was just basically I got a piece of paper, I drew everything on that one piece of paper, and then I scanned it onto the computer. So it was really time consuming, but in the end, it was worth it, you know.
And so, how long did the whole process take you from start to finish?
Um, it took about a year and a half. Most of it, actually, maybe about half of it was mostly done on the research because I had to like keep on double checking that everything's historically accurate.
And how did you choose about telling the story the way that you did? And that it's not just a story; it's really a culmination of a lot of different things. So how did you decide in the story itself?
Um, in the beginning, I basically just had this sketchbook and I just basically drew out my main character Ari, but that was as far as the story went. It was as I kept on drawing, I was like, maybe I should stop here and add this in like the future, or like maybe I should change this once I'm done with this chapter. So it was a lot of re-editing and revising for me. But it was after all the work and all the research, I had to go back and keep on checking like did I draw his hair correctly here, or like did I let's see, like is this person missing in this spot? So it was it was a lot of comparing to previous drawings.
Mm. When you finished it, when you knew like this is your baby, you're
Uh,
done. How did you feel?
I felt it felt like it was just like a whole weight lifted off of me, you know. I just felt that like I actually accomplished this whole book, you know. I never thought that I'd actually do this, you know. It was quite like remarkable in a sense. But I believe that the learning about the Holocaust part for me, it just doesn't end there, you know. I'm still learning about it through I'm still trying to look for survivors. I'm still visiting the museum sometimes, and so but the actual book itself, yeah, it's done. And
So now that you have this book done now, I guess what's your hope for the future of this book, and do you think you'll write another follow up?
uh well, uh I think the goal for this book, it was just for kids like in this generation now to learn about it, and I was hoping that this book could also go into like the school education. And as for another book, I'm still trying to, you know, get this one done, but I'm definitely considering writing another book.
And where can people find out more about your book?
Um, well, right now it's just on Amazon, but if they want to learn more about it, you know, first of all, like they gotta read it, and then they can also. It's just like the plan. Another plan for this book was that I wanted people to also see the Holocaust through how I saw it too. So it was like if someone wants to learn about the Holocaust and learn more about me too, they basically just read the book, and then they could even just do a little research too. And that's how I wanted it. I wanted people to like, you know, instead of doing something else on the computer, they could like actually go and discover things, new things, and not forget about the Holocaust as well.
This is what I call um, the educational part of.
Uh,
Um, I mean, you're really you're a teacher. You're honestly you're a teacher,
uh,
and I think that's pretty exciting for your age and what you accomplished. I know I haven't wrote a book yet, so
uh,
it's in especially the sensitivities of this of the topic, and your thoughts of incorporating this into the educational system is really forward thinking. What does your family think about it?
everyone's really supporting me, you know. I'm just so glad that people, my whole family, they're just like, you know, Chris, like, you've done like such a great job and you'll take a rest, you know. But I just thought like, you know, I can't take a rest now. I gotta get this done and this. So but they're like supporting my back, you know, on this book.
This is a huge endeavor on yourself. I mean, obviously, when you put in this time, this commitment, and you have this book now, um, what do you what do you want to see? I guess in the processing of getting into the schools. Like, what's your sort of vehicles?
Well, one of the big things that I want to accomplish with this book is I'm trying to get all the English teachers, all the teachers from maybe as small as Montgomery County to just like look at this book and see like, hey, if you want to help me support this book, could you like please like get into the system and everything. I'm taking it basically just like baby steps at a time. But I really do hope that this book it will be eventually spread across the US in public libraries and public schools and anywhere you can get a book basically. So,
What was the best part for you in writing and then animating?
well, some drawings, I do have like some like special attachment to some pages, but I think one of the best things that I also enjoyed was also when I was writing, I listened to music too, and I basically just indulged myself in like this whole the Holocaust and not only the history, but much of the Jewish history as well. I had to get a little background check pre-World War II and everything, and I listened to very traditional Jewish songs as I wrote the book. I just thought like, hey, like I should like at least like learn about this before like pre-hand.
What type of music?
Um, I listened to Fiddler in the House by Itzhak Perlman. Many of the klezmer songs that were before the war. And so I thought it was like very interesting, if I learned about the culture and everything pre-hand, then I can get a better in-depth on like what happened. But I do enjoy some of the songs they have.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Uh,
And we look forward to hearing more about the project as it moves forward. And we hope that you continue this incredible energy so that you can help educate the next generation about the Holocaust. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for interviewing me.
Holocaust education is critical, and through graphic novels such as Keeping My Hope by Christopher Hu, we can ensure that future generations understand the impact of the Holocaust on our society and our Jewish lives. This is Aaron Herman, and thank you for watching.